On today's video, we're going to be talking about the experience that you need before you start traveling. So, we are both radiology. We are going to be focusing on our radiology people, our allied people. The caveat here is that if you are a therapist, you don't need to watch this video because you actually get to start traveling and can jump in right after you graduate. So this video is going to be focused on the people like us that do need some experience and to build some skill sets before you can take the leap into travel. So that's what we're going to get into on this video.
It's my
Welcome back to our channel. We are Kim and Erran G, and this is the place to get all the lifestyle, inspirational, and educational tips and tricks and tools for healthcare travelers.
Yeah, and if you are new here, please consider subscribing because we do videos like this all the time, along with some really cool travel vlogs that you can watch and get some inspiration for when you have all your time off and freedom as a healthcare traveler. Okay, so we're going to start off this video by just explaining that if you're deciding to travel and you're going to be talking to a travel company, they're going to want 1 to 2 years of experience in your specific specialty. So, with that being said, traveling is less about the years that you have in that experience and more about the skill set and the basics and the knowledge that you have within your specialty.
100%, because the unique thing with traveling is that there's not a lot of training involved. And so you really need to be able to roll up your sleeves and jump in. You're there to fill a void. You're there to help out. And so they're not going to be holding your hand and teaching you things. You really need to have a strong skill set and foundation for what you do. So when it comes to travel, the more you know how to do, the more jobs are going to be available for you. So the more opportunities you'll have and contracts will be coming your way.
So once you've decided to travel, there are some things that you can do to really set yourself up for success on the road. And one of those things is just really learning everything that you can. In IR, it's like doing as much as you can, researching as much as you can, asking a lot of questions, getting your hands on a bunch of different procedures. And if your facility is capped at, they don't do the big procedures, see if you can go and shadow somewhere and learn as much as you can. I know ultrasound's kind of the same way with the different registries and things like that. So
yeah, like you want to use this time before you start traveling. Use the time you have now to learn as much as you can in whatever modality you're in. So going to different facilities, just trying to get your hands on as much, I say hands on because I'm a sonographer, so I'm thinking like a pro, but like just get in there, roll up your sleeves and just absorb as much as you possibly can so that when you're ready to hit the road, you have tons of skills and you're really confident in the area, your area of expertise.
yeah. So with the first two sections, we don't want to scare you because you don't have to have all the experience. Because I can tell you one thing, and I know Kim feels the same way, I am far better now as a traveler than I would have ever been if I would have stayed at my first facility and never started traveling. Because you are exposed to so many different facilities, so many different ways of doing things, and especially in radiology, so many different procedures that your facility that you came from might not ever do. And so with that being said, you are going to learn on the road, but having that strong foundation allows you the clear mindset and the open mindset to be able to take in what you're learning and grow from it.
So the moral of the story here is that you don't have to know everything. It's impossible to know everything. We are always learning and growing and getting better at our craft. But you want to be confident. You want to have a strong foundation, and then you can grow from that place.
Yeah, I do got to add too. Were you done?
No, I was just gonna say that there are going to be facilities that are willing to train you in different areas. I have learned so much as a sonographer, and a lot of places are willing to train in areas that you're not comfortable with or don't have a lot of experience with. And then there's facilities that won't, right? It just depends on the situation. So there's tons of opportunities to learn and
Yeah, I mean, from
And
an IR perspective, I'll never forget this. One of the radiologists that I worked with very closely, respected a lot, she actually looked at me and said, "You're going to learn what a real IR tech is once you get out there and travel because you aren't one." And I was like, oh dear God,
Savage.
like what does she even mean? But I mean, just from my skill set alone, on the road traveling, I have learned cardiac cath, I have learned neuro, and now I am, what do you call it, efficient, right? Or I
Yeah.
guess proficient?
Efficient,
And can actually take jobs in those departments. And those were things that I did not know before I started traveling that I learned on the road. So as Kim said, they are willing to train, but I've also had to pass up on a couple contracts because they were like, we don't have the space right now to train you to do that. You got to know it before you come in.
Right.
And so those are things that you weigh out as you take your interviews.
Okay, so last part we're going to talk about, and this is a pro tip, and this is so important. Never, ever, ever fake it till you make it. Like, this is not the time and the place to do that. And so what do I mean by that? When you're on an interview, okay, interviews are super, super important in the traveling world. This is how you're going to figure out if it's a good fit for you and a good fit for the facility that's interviewing you. So interviews is its own beast. We have a whole module all about interviews in Traveler School. It's definitely worth checking out because we have all kinds of tips and stuff in there. But the thing that we want to say right now for the interview is that this is your time to ask questions. This is your time to see what they're expecting of you, what they do, what kind of scans they do, procedures they do, whatever, what the requirements are. And if they're walking you through what they're needing and what they're expecting of you, and there's things that they're saying that you're like, oh gosh, I'm not really that comfortable with that. There's your time to be like, hey, listen, I never done this before, but I'm a fast learner. I'm willing to learn. I want to learn. Do you have the time to be able to teach me these things? Because in all areas, I'm confident. I feel really comfortable and I'll be strong and be able to hit the ground running there. But in this area, I would need some guidance and assistance. And that's what they're going to say. Absolutely. We love to train. We'll come on in. We'll show you the ropes. Like, awesome. They're going to be willing to teach you a new skill set, which is so cool and valuable. But there's going to be times that they say, no, sorry, we actually need somebody to come in and really know what they're doing. We're too busy to train. And then you're going to realize, great, like that's not a good fit for you. Mm-hmm. But you never want to lie and say you know how to do something if you don't know how to do it, because it will definitely come out and you're going to look really, really bad. And it's going to put everybody, yourself and the department, in a really awkward situation.
Yeah,
so
and the reason that we really say that is because we do hear a lot of people, we have heard a lot of people say it's very easy to just fake it till you make it. And I can honestly tell you, this is especially in the radiology world. I'm not talking about therapists, I'm not talking about nurses, because you guys might have a different way to kind of work that out. But in radiology, when you're doing procedural based things and you're more or less on your own, those things come out very quickly. And the travel world is a very small world. So when your facility that you're working at says, Erran said on the interview that he could do this, and then we put him in the case and he couldn't, and there was an issue with the physician and the team, they're going to relay that back to your travel company, and then your travel company is going to be reluctant to actually put you forward to another contract. They would rather put another traveler that they know is crushing it in these areas and they're confident and they don't lie about their skill sets, and they're going to get more opportunities for better contracts than you would. So do not fake it till you make it. That is a big, big, big no-no in the travel world. Because
we always say it's this or something better. If it's not a good fit and they're not willing to train, awesome, it's fine. There's going to be another job that comes along. You don't need to try to squeeze your way into a situation that you're really not qualified for, because it's never going to work out well. So if you take anything from this video, take this. Never fake it till you make it. If it's not a right fit, it's not a right fit, and it's this or something better, and you're going to end up at the contract that's a perfect fit for everybody involved. Okay? All right. Okay, so let's run through a quick overview. So, most companies are going to require you to have 1 or 2 years of experience. Unless you're a therapist, congratulations, you can go right out of school. For the rest of us, we have to have some experience. Number 2, it's traveling is less about the years of experience you have and more about the skill set. What can you do, right? What can you do? There's no training. You got to jump in there, get the job done without a lot of babysitting, essentially. Okay. Number 3, build a strong foundation. Use this time before you start traveling to learn the things and really build a strong foundation. Be confident in your craft, be confident in your skill set, and then you can build upon that. Number 4, don't let that scare you. You don't have to know it all. You are going to learn a lot on the road. There's going to be plenty of opportunities to learn new skills and to add those to your toolbox, okay? But you've got to start with that strong foundation and be really good and confident at what you already do. The last thing, the most important part, is never fake it till you make it. Be honest about what you can do. Ask if they're going to be willing to train you in areas you're not comfortable with. Sometimes they'll say yes, sometimes they'll say no, but you got to make sure it's a good fit for everybody involved, and don't show up and lie.
Yeah, basically, because it will come back to bite you.
You'll look really bad, and the traveling world is a small world, and it always ends up coming out, and we've experienced it quite a few times with other travelers, and it just ain't good. It ain't good. So
they usually end up getting fired, and then that doesn't look very good either.
It's humiliating.
But, you know, Kim and I really wanted to keep this video very short for you, just give you the overall surface of what to expect if you are looking into traveling and the experience that companies and facilities are looking for. Again, if this triggers and you're like, dude, I want to learn so much more, we have that available for you as well. We do have our Facebook group that is free for travelers. It is Travel Life Freedom in Scrubs. We also have our very, very, very deep dive, which is our online course, Traveler School, that you can find out more about in the description below. It covers all of this and more, even into interviews and what questions to ask during these times. We even give you the script to really like go through and ask, like if you're not proficient in something, like what's the verbiage that you say that sounds really professional and good. We cover all of that in Traveler School, so there's a bunch of resources for you. Never hesitate to reach out
and
if
our
you have
podcast.
Well, in our podcast, Freedom and Scrubs on iTunes, Stitcher.
And we'll put it all in the subscription or in the description below, so make sure to check that out.
Yeah, and I wanted to finish with saying if you ever have any questions about this, please leave them in the comments below, or you can reach out to us on Instagram or in the Facebook group, and we will be happy to guide you as much as we can. And that is it.
That's it, my friends.
We're about to head on a road trip across the U.S. We are leaving California tomorrow morning. We're finishing this and packing up the Jeep and getting ready to go. So
next time you see us, we'll have a different backdrop, and we'll be in my nephew's bedroom in Florida. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, and we'll see you on the East Coast.
Wow, that was good. We're out.
I feel like that was like my professional